Right, night that we're stuck at home together.
Wow.
No, you're supposed to laugh at that. God, see, this is why I don't fight.
Open up, you open up.
Excellent. Ready? That was good. Hi guys, I'm Hannah.
I'm Sadie.
And we're not straight.
Welcome back to our channel. And welcome to first timers. We're happy to have you.
Welcome. I was like, is that what our channel is called now?
Welcome back.
Welcome to the first timers.
Oh.
Welcome to first.
Yeah, welcome to whatever.
Okay.
I get it. I didn't get it until just now.
Okay. Last weekend, we posted on our channel that we were taking a mental health break. Yeah. So this week, I wanted to give a little context. And we were going to talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Partially because I think mental health should be talked about more frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Partially just because this is our life and we always want to be real with you. We didn't want to do a video that felt like forced.
Yeah. I do think that there's a lot of depression and anxiety specifically within the queer community also. And I wanted to just name that. I don't think it's a coincidence.
And especially right now with the pandemic.
Yeah.
That is worse. So, I have been experiencing anxiety for the first time in my life, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say experiencing anxiety, I mean the physical symptoms of anxiety that I had heard about before, but didn't really have any way to conceptualize.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it feels like a super tight chest, and like an upset stomach, and what else? Mostly those two things.
Yeah.
But in like a very dramatic way, in kind of an unbelievable way, and a way that has helped me like gain a lot of empathy for people who have been dealing with anxiety for a long time.
Yeah. And I think we've mentioned this kind of generally on the channel before, but I've been dealing with just generalized anxiety for years, and I take medication for it, and it helps me manage it, but I still really struggle with anxiety a lot in my everyday life, and it isn't related to any specific event. It's not related to any trauma that I've been able to pinpoint or that I'm even cognizant of, and I think that it has been exacerbated by many things in my life, and I would say my queerness is definitely one, especially with the way that my coming out story evolved with canceling a wedding and adding the stress of just the circumstances. I think that was a big moment where I kind of had like an event around my anxiety that I could really point to and look at. And other than that, I've just been struggling with it for like 6 or 7 years, really. I think maybe longer than that.
Yeah, saying like something you can point to, I hadn't really thought about that specifically. I hadn't thought about the fact that you could just have anxiety about nothing or about something that you can't identify.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been true for me. And I think because it presents itself so physically for me, it feels maddening because I generally think I have a disciplined mind. That sounds so stupid, but I think that I for my whole life have kind of taken charge of my emotions and felt what I would allow myself to feel, which is probably why this is happening, because all of those things that have been pent up for so long have come like flooding out. And then suddenly feeling like I have no control over my emotions is frightening. And there's no way to like logic myself out of it. There's no way to like meditate my way out of it. And it's like, my heart goes out to you, people who are dealing with this too.
Yeah, I think because anxiety is so often not visible to like an onlooker, it is really hard to conceptualize, and it's really hard to notice in yourself when you begin to feel anxiety. And it's really hard to, I think, ground yourself when that happens for the first time, because it just feels like an impending sense of doom. And even if there is like an actual reason for it, or not a reason, but if there is like an event that catalyzes it, that event concluding oftentimes doesn't have the effect of anxiety is over. So it's like, okay, this started with this, but now I just have it. And like I don't know what to do with it. So it feels like there must be something else wrong. I would say my anxiety is primarily not physical, mental. I don't know, in my head. I don't mean to say that it's not real. It's very real. But I don't often feel the physical symptoms of it. But I do ruminate a lot, and I do feel whirlpools of doom spinning around me. I would say over like big and small things. I think another feature of anxiety, it's so cool.
Feature. It's got features.
New and updated features all the time.
V27.2.
Yeah. Once you master any level of anxiety, it evolves to a new level. Another feature of anxiety that I think a lot of people experience, myself included, is the idea that if you try something and it doesn't work, that the unknown of like what is worse than just trying something, which is my therapist once explained to me why a lot of people don't want to take anxiety medication, because they're afraid that the effects of the medication won't help them enough. But that is anxiety telling you, like, don't fix it, because if you fix it and it's not good enough, then what are you going to do? And that is a lot of times what happens in my mind over everything.
But if I am finding myself having a hard time even telling you when I'm feeling anxious, because I feel like embarrassed about it, or like I shouldn't be anymore, or like I've been so much lately that it's like too much of a burden to say out loud to you again, even though it's probably helpful context for your partner to understand like when you're feeling anxious and when you're not. And I tend to, I would say, under communicate about my emotions, so this is good practice for me.
This feels incredibly relevant, and a lot of the reason why we wanted to take a mental health break, because we wanted to just take some time to be able to talk with one another and like gain some understanding. And communication is what we talk about so much on our channel, and I think that we are excellent at communicating our ideas to each other. I think that we're really good at communicating what we think about something, our thought process about something, why we did a certain thing, or if there's an issue that's not within our relationship, not like from one of us or between us. If there's an issue like outside of our relationship that we're both facing together, I think we're really good at communicating, you know, how we want to go about handling it or whatever. And we've talked so much about that on our channel, and I think that this is kind of a nuance of communication that I didn't realize we needed to put dedicated effort into, I guess. Maybe that sounds naive, but...
No, I think you're right. I think that we are not very good at communicating about our emotions and about each other to one another. I think that was like a huge blind spot for us that was like illuminated in the past, I don't know, week or so. When I realized how afraid I am to talk to you about us if it's not something that's like 100% positive. Which is so funny because, like you said, conflict outside our relationship, we're pretty good at by now. Conflict inside our relationship, oh my gosh, I'm horrible. Notoriously. I don't know how to fight with someone, so usually I shut down instead. And...
Can I do the thing?
What?
That you do? So I can embarrass you.
You already said it.
If I ever bring something up to Hannah that is like something that she's done, or, you know,
something you're frustrated with.
Yeah, I'm frustrated with. her response is usually to listen, but she wants to like show that she's listening and show that she like accepts responsibility for it. So she just responds like this.
That's not true. That's not true.
You let me do the whole thing and then you said that's not true.
No, your rendition of it was inaccurate.
Do it.
Generally that's true, but it's usually more like this. You can't make me laugh.
More wounded puppy.
Eyes down, nodding only when you make a point, not smiling, and not like nodding frantically like you were just now.
You look in my eyes though.
It depends.
I feel like I notice those things because I'm like, she's trying to be a good listener, and I'm like, argue with me!
She wants me to fight, and I'm always like, I can't fight. What if I say something bad? What if I say something bad and it's offensive? Or what if something comes out that I don't really mean? Or.
And you'll never be able to take it back.
Why would you say that?
I think that this is like another instance of our communication styles coming up as well. In addition to our anxiety styles differing. New things we get to bond about. I think that conflict and fighting and arguing, if you can move toward a solution that is respectful of each person's identity and dignity, then it's worth it, always. And I think, Hannah, I'm speaking for you, which I shouldn't, but I think that you don't even want to go there. You don't even want to like, what if it's not respectful of your dignity? Like, what if I'm not honoring that in you and I say something that is hurtful?
I think it's two parts. I think one, I don't know how. And I think that's probably the most salient. I have not had modeled for me, like, healthy fights. Where both partners were working together toward, like, a respectful and compromise, like, solution. So I don't know how, and I don't know what to say. And I'm also, it's not just that I don't know how, but emotionally I retreat so that I don't even think to start.
Yeah.
Because I'm already withdrawn.
Yeah. I think that's a really, like, powerful thing to do, because what I was just going to say is just speaking from your own experience and your own emotion and seeking to communicate so that the other person can understand you, but also then listening for understanding is, I think, the key to, like, a healthy argument or fight. But if you aren't sharing your feelings or, like, how your emotions around a certain topic, then I can't understand.
There's nowhere to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I suggested yesterday that we are still scheduling, like, date nights on the calendar, like, writing them in so that we are kind of, like, reminded, not forced to, but so that it's, like, built into our world and our schedule.
And separated time-wise.
Yeah.
So it's not just, like, any random, like...
Right, night that we're stuck at home together.
Wow.
No, you're supposed to laugh at that. God, see, this is why I don't fight. I suggested yesterday, what if we schedule a time to fight on the calendar? Because
That's when I laughed.
I think it would help me to know that there's, like, an end time coming, and that it's a space where I'm allowed to just, like, share how I'm feeling, and it will hopefully be well received, and I can practice.
Yeah. Hit me with your worst shot.
No. Why? No.
Alright, I guess we're just having another date night.
No, not your worst shot. That's me. Feels mean.
You're not gonna tell me, like, I hate your nose ring?
That's not my worst shot.
What is?
Oh, okay. Do we call it?
We have to go discuss what her worst shot is.
No. For real, though. It's been a joy, as always. If you're struggling with any sort of mental health struggles, we feel you.
We are struggling with you.
Yeah, we're struggling with you, and we send our love to you. Take care of yourselves in the best way you know how, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.